Tom Clark's 6M podcast is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
Hey, what is up? Welcome to Tom Clark's 6M podcast. I'm your host, Tom Clark, and in this episode, I'm joined by co-host Phil Lindsey. Hollywood's not going to fix your problems, kids. It's just not going to happen. If you're looking to actors, to musicians, to any sort of celebrity to fix your problems, it's probably not going to happen. Okay? I mean, you can hope, you can wish, you can pray to whatever God that you choose to pray to. She's probably not going to help you with that either, if I'm being honest. Because again, if you're looking to Hollywood to solve any of your problems, more than likely you're looking in the wrong place. So when you see a movie that's well, this is bad or this was bad and segregation was bad and this is bad and this is terrible, and we're all sitting there going, "Yep, 100% agree. Terrible. People are horrible. They were horrible then. They're horrible now. Nothing's really changed." Honestly, guys, nothing's really changed. Okay, I hope everybody knows that right now. I mean, it's different degrees now of horrible stuff going on, but nothing's really changed. Okay, let's just be honest. But we're talking about a film here today, and we're on a Denzel kick. Maybe I am, because Denzel's awesome. But we're doing Remember the Titans, and I said all that to say this: this movie took the issues of black and white stuff from coming out of the '60s into the early '70s and put a nice little bow on it, as sports movies often tend to do. And they tried to solve the problems in a 2-hour movie or an hour and a half movie, whatever that looks like. And, we all know that that's not real. Okay. This is based in part on a true story, but it's not 100% based on the true story. And we'll get into that here today too. Having said all that, I effing love this movie. I have no complaints with this film at all. I've seen it a lot. And I love I can't wait to talk about it. I love talking about it to people that I know. And I've often recommended this film through the years. Does it put too neat of a bow on things? We'll get into that here today, because I got thoughts, and I'm sure Phil does too. But before we tackle that, how about we tackle this? Remember the Titans is a 2000 American biographical sports drama film produced by Jerry Bruckheimer and directed by Boaz Yakin. The screenplay by Gregory Allen Howard is loosely based on the true story of Coach Herman Boone, portrayed by Denzel Washington, of course, and his attempt to integrate the T.C. Williams High School, now Alexandria City High School, football team in Alexandria, Virginia in 1971. We've got an ensemble cast around Denzel. It is fantastic. A lot of great people here in this movie, kids. And again, I thoroughly enjoyed this. This movie turns 25 years old this year as we record this. It was released on September 29th, 2000. Running time was 114 minutes. The budget for this film was $30 million. The box office was $136.8 million. Not a bad haul. And that is your lowdown for Remember the Titans. So, Phil, we talked a lot off mic here today about stuff happening in the world. What's the last time you've seen Remember the Titans? What's your opinion on it overall? And have you heard any of the criticism that's this movie's received over the years?
I haven't heard any of the criticism. I feel like this is one of those movies that I'm old enough that at the time it was played a lot in schools.
Mm.
They would cart on a day when we got a movie, they would cart this movie out and show it to us. So I feel like I've seen it more than once at school. But of course, I've seen it, just in passing on regular TV as well. I think it still holds up very well. Does it put a very neat bow on everything, like most Disney movies and certain things from those companies? Yes, of course. But I think it's a lot about it to like.
I totally agree. I think there's a lot of great stuff here. A lot of young actors in this movie. And we get possibly, kids, you might be getting your first glimpse at some future Hollywood leading men in this movie as well. And a couple of them, or at least one for sure. But we'll get into that here today too. So criticism, and I don't want to spend all day on this, But basically, people have, attacked's the wrong word. I don't think anyone's attacking this movie through the years or anything like that. But a lot of the criticism coming at this is because, as we said, it does kind of try to, sum everything up with, white people have seen the light and everybody's getting along by the end. And we know that that's just not reality. It'd be great if it was. It'd be great if it was, but that's just not reality. But part of it feels that, that they changed a lot of stuff from the original story. And I'm thinking, this is Hollywood. I don't know
Yeah.
what do we expect, Phil? We expect Hollywood to just put up a mirror and just 100% do it true to life. Come on, man.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, that's that. I don't know. And as we said before, kids, at the very beginning of this thing is loosely based on the situation happening, the integration of this school. Supposedly, the now get this. Supposedly, the racism part of all this was exaggerated for the film. But let me ask you this, Phil. On either side, do you think anyone's gonna like, yeah, I hated that guy. Oh no, I hated her. Come on, man. No one wants to portray themselves in a bad light, Phil. You know that.
Of course not. This is Virginia in 1971. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I. Not only do I think that that is a funny take that is probably exaggerated, I would bet that it was worse.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I would bet that it's worse. In 1971, like I said, uh, post Jim Crow, Virginia. Come on.
Yeah. No kidding. Yeah. I mean, look, right off the bat, dude. A lot of this is very quotable. A lot of the movie like was in the trailer. They absolutely got some fantastic clips for that trailer. Because with Faison in the gym, he's got his hands up and Denzel's up in his face. It's not fun anymore, is it? No, not even a little bit. Dude, that is one of the best scenes I think I've ever seen Denzel in ever, man. It's great. Well, look, starting right off the bat with Denzel, man, he's fantastic. He is the man. How do you feel about him in this? I mean, is this one of his best performances for you? Is it par for the course? I mean, does this stand out for you when you think about Denzel Washington?
I think he's great in this. I think it's a really good football movie. It's a good sports movie. I think that Denzel does a great job as this hard-nosed coach that just basically stays on his team this entire movie.
Mhm.
I mean, he is hard on them basically this entire movie. But I think the reason it works is because he shows several different layers to his character. He's not just like that the entire movie. Um, like he's like that in the scenes where he's coaching and he's trying to really drive home that he expects perfection from them. But when you see him in like the quieter moments with his family, it's different. When you see him like in quieter moments, like when he reveals to them that they're on the same field as the Battle of Gettysburg, which what a heck of a coincidence!
Yeah.
what, a, what a heck of a coincidence that was. But
Yeah.
yeah,
That's one of
all
the
of,
things that didn't happen, by the way. So,
I would venture to guess. I would venture to guess that. But yeah, just I mean, just like that moment and like his not just his level of care to trying to make prepare them to be football players, but trying to really get them to understand like this does not work if you guys do not get along.
yeah.
We have to be a team. I can't just come in here and yell at you guys for hours on end and then send you back to your house or send you back to your room when they were staying at the camp. Like you guys have to change the way you see your fellow man on this team. And I think he did such a great job throughout the movie of trying to enforce that. Um, so by the time we get to the end of the movie and they do win state, and we get the quote, "You were the right man for the job." It feels that way because maybe another man wouldn't have done that much. He wouldn't have gone as far and beyond to get them to, really learn to get along. Because that's not really the job of a coach. The job of a coach is to come in and like prepare them for the games, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, and Phil, if you're going to reach someone, as we know, you don't wait till they're 50. You reach them in high school. If
Yeah.
right, if there's a chance of reaching anybody, it's that you reach them while they're young. So I think that works here. And I think that, every time the assistant coach tries to counter him on something, I'm in my head as rewatching this again, in my head, every time it happened, I go back to, I don't care about his skin color. Like, he's telling you, he's the coach. He is your boss. Listen to what he's saying. If he were white, you would never question him at all. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
It's insane, man.
Yeah, I do think in some bits of the movie we're supposed to see things from Yost's point of view of like, wait a minute, why is he yelling at them like that? Why is he
Yeah.
being so hard on them? But then you also have things like Lewis saying he can't go to college, and he's like, "Don't worry, with I'm gonna get you ready to go to college. You don't have to accept that you're not going to college. I won't tell anybody." And he didn't try to embarrass him. He could have easily used that as like a motivator for him, but he didn't.
Yeah, exactly. He could have used that to motivate the whole team. Hey, look what I'm doing for him. But it wasn't about that. He just did it because it was the right thing to do.
Yeah. So I think when you look at it from Yost's point of view, sometimes it's like, wait a minute, what is this guy doing? Um, but then the more and more you look at like the totality of it, it's like, no, I have to be hard on them because nobody's going to take it easy on us.
Exactly. Yeah.
No other team is going to take it easy on us. When we go back to that school and this is the team we're putting on the field, if we don't win games, if we're not perfect,
Mhm.
nobody's going to take it easy on me. They're not going to take it easy on these kids. They're not going to take it easy on you.
And this is just high school, by the way.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you something, dude. Some of these players, come on, man.
Football is serious business, man, especially in these southern states. Um, Football is serious business.
That I can respect that, but the dude that played Ray looks like a grown A man, dude. He looks like he's 35 in this movie. Come on, man.
Yeah, I think it's really funny every time I watch this movie when they go to the funeral stuff at the end of the movie and you see all of the kids and all of the kids look older, like they look like their actual age in real
Yes.
life. But Denzel and Will Patton, they still look exactly the same. Like they didn't
Ex
try to gray their hair, nothing. They still look
Nothing.
exactly the same, but all the kids aged.
Yeah, no kidding. They got mustaches, they got gray hair, and I'm like, how do you have gray hair?
All of
Like,
this, like they have receding hairlines and stuff now. It's just what?
it's only been 10 years, dude. Only 10 years have passed, man. My God. Which would make these kids 28 at the most, right?
Yeah, it's
27,
funny.
28. Good God, man. Yeah, I bumped into that too. I mean, I don't know. This is a big question. I don't know if we can even really answer this because this would involve that we've seen every sports movie that has themes of this nature. I mean, is this one of the better films, Phil, in terms of, I'll say sports films? Is this one of the better sports films in terms of like, we're showing the camaraderie, we're showing how when guys are working together that they can get things done. We've seen other movies like this through the years too. Nothing quite exactly like this.
Yeah.
I mean, this has got to be one of the better ones, doesn't it?
I think it's a really enjoyable film.
Mm.
I do think like the more and more you think about certain bits of it, it's like, it happened kind of easy, didn't it? Or,
Right.
well, sure. Of course, it's that all of the black players, they won everybody over with their love of music and like dancing. It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And of
Dude.
course, I'm simplifying it, but there are certain things that happen in this movie that I'm just like, that happened kind of fast.
It does happen very fast. And he called him out on the bus too because he's like, he's trying to sing and he tells him, what was it he tells me? He said, "We can't have you doing the singing and dance and stuff. You're not doing that right now."
Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, there's bits of this movie that, like I said, I understand what they're trying to do, but
Mhm.
I also think, of course, that they condensed it in a way and they made it more palatable for mainstream audiences, which, of course, they have
That's
to do
fair.
because it's a movie.
I mean, I wonder sometimes, Phil, because I can't answer this in today's time or then either. What would a young African American man in high school in 1971? I don't know how to phrase this. Would he have a smile on his face at the prospect of playing with these white guys? Would he have a chip on his shoulder? Would he be quiet? Would he be, I mean, because I can't answer any of that. But, to the point of this just being a movie, buddy, they portray it like, we're cool, everybody's good. And I'm thinking, you shouldn't necessarily be intimidated, but it's like, again, I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, like you said, man, I think that a lot of this maybe is toned down because it is a Disney film because it has to be family friendly, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that should be the main thing here. This is very much a family movie.
Mm,
So they can only go so far with it.
sure.
Um, I do think the most believable thing to me is Denzel's character being named Coach. And immediately the black people in the community are like, yeah, that's our coach now. So they show up outside his house and they like are all clapping and applauding him because of course the black people in the community be like, nah, we're one of us is up there. We're winning. And of course, like the kids get there and they show up for the first meeting like, I know I'm gonna have a spot on the team. Coach Black,
Right.
we're in there. And so I think that part about it made sense. But then once you actually had to get through the part of integrating both teams together, it of course would change.
And I love that Denzel's thing through this whole movie is like, even though he can't act like it's not an issue, that they're not all dealing with the integration part of it. If you can't play, then you're not gonna play. Like, you have to
Yeah,
make the cut, and you have to he doesn't care. He flat out says, "I don't care what color you are. You have to it's my rules, it's my team. That's it," you know?
yeah,
We've heard athletes through the years, Phil. I think it was Bill Russell who said, among many other guys, it's like, if you can play, you can play, which would explain why through the years athletes tend to break color barriers and tend to get along. And I'm not saying it works all the time, kids,
yeah,
because we know Jackie Robinson went through hell, as other players that came after him did as well, I'm sure. But at some point in the NBA, I guess probably in the 70s into the 80s, it became, well, if you can play, that's all that matters. And so the camaraderie that we see in this movie, that part to me made a lot of sense as well. That eventually it's like, hey, man, you're hurting me. You're hurting our chances. Get over this.
yeah.
Like when he called him out for not blocking, like to me, Phil, that's very real. Even if you hate the guy on your team, you'd be like, you don't block him next time, I'll take you out myself because you're hurting our chances to win the game.
Exactly. And the motivator that coach used of, hey man, the longer you keep doing this, we're gonna practice even harder. We're gonna have 3 practices a day until you stop
Yes.
doing this. And it's just like, man, this is wearing me out. Um, Denzel and some of his responses, he's great. I think he's so likable, even when he's being hard on them.
Yeah.
Uh, like when they're like, "Man, coach, can we have some water, man? Water's for cowards."
Yeah. Yes. We're gonna do what does he calls it drop downs until he's no longer tired and thirsty.
Yeah, and he's got the whistle and he's blowing it every time they do the up downs, and Yost is trying to get in his face, and the entire time he's got the smirk on his face, still blowing the
Yep.
whistle the whole time.
It's great. Because for Coach Boone, it's not about I'm the black coach in this white town. It's not. It's about I'm the coach. You're gonna do what I say. And Phil, honestly, it's not up to him to be the I'm here to make change. No, he's there to win. And he flat
Yeah,
out says it more than once. I'm a winner. I'm here to win. That's it.
I'm here to win, and I'm trying to prepare these kids not just to be the best players and to be a part of the best team, but I'm trying to prepare them for life moving forward. Like you can't just expect to give a half effort, and people are going to take it easy on you.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's definitely something was drummed into my head growing up that when you leave this house, nobody is going to take it easy on you. So you cannot expect me to take it easy on you here. And I love that aspect of it when Yost tried to come to him and go, don't you think you're being too hard? And he was like, well, who am I being too hard on? You never say anything when I'm too hard on this player or that player.
Mm.
Why is it like The black players, why are you trying to coddle them? Like you're not helping them by coddling. You're crippling them.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could almost say that Yost is showing. Well, maybe he's starting to get it. Maybe Yost is like, maybe he's not seeing color anymore. Maybe he's finally embracing. But Boone's thing is like, you don't coddle any of them. I don't care what color they are. They're still players, and they still got to play, and they still got to win, which makes sense.
Yeah, I think his thing. I think the point he's trying to make to Yos is, you can't overcompensate to try to show these kids that you're different and that you care about them as their coach.
Mhm.
You can be their friend all you want, but you still have to be a disciplinary here as well. You can't take it easy on these kids because you're not helping them. You're setting them up in a way to feel like, all right, well, the next person that believes and integrating the schools and integrating the teams might be as nice to them as well. And as we know, everybody in the world is not going to be nice to you like this.
Mhm.
Not going to be like, oh, well, it's okay, you don't have to run as hard as everybody else. Why are you yelling at them? Like,
Yeah.
why are you taking them off
Just
the team? Like,
right, right, right. Just imagine if this were a college team. Like, I don't know. Like if you're drilling these lessons into these guys' heads at a high school age, which I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
yeah. There are some things that I bump into, of course,
Hmm.
like Ray deciding that the other guy on the defense, he wants him off the team because he intentionally doesn't block. You want me to believe that Boone didn't notice that first and then kick him off the team first? No, it's this
That's a
moment
great
of
call.
him having this heroic moment of like, nah, he has to go. He has to go, coach.
Yeah.
I saw it. He has to go.
Right, right, right.
And then that sets up the confrontation between him coming out there and telling him he's off the team. And I was like, I don't know that I believe that.
Well, not to ruin it for you, but you shouldn't believe it because it didn't happen because Ray
Of
Buds
course.
is not a real character. Ray was never a real person. He was made up for the film. So,
Of course.
but I'm not going to go through here and dissect it. I could, but I'm not gonna. But like in terms of what's real and what's not, I'm trying to take this at face value as just an entertaining film. Do you know what I mean? But
Yes.
um, I'm with you. Let me ask you this: are there too many moments of, well, this white guy's he's finally come around? Do we have too much of that here? You think?
Mm, it's tough for me to say because I think the first few times I watched it, I was like, "Oh, this is a great movie." This is me watching it as an older man and being like,
Sure. Now
I
you're
don't
all
know.
old and jaded, right?
I don't know, man. Like everybody in this guy's life, he had to show them the way after he went away to camp and understood that he appreciates his black teammates. Now he had to convince his white mom and his white girlfriend and his white friends to all understand that they're all going the wrong way in life. I don't know that I believe that. I don't know that I believe he went back to school and he went right back to being around the people that he's comfortable being around. Because it's a lot for a kid uh, to challenge everybody that you grew up with. I don't care
Dude,
what era you live in, for you to
thank you.
challenge everybody, your girlfriend, your mom, all
Yeah,
of your friends, you're just going to be like, you're going to stand up to all of those people and say, you guys are all wrong. And that's not to say it doesn't happen, but
sure.
come on. That's a lot for this protagonist in this movie.
So, I think I know the answer because I think for me the answer is yes. It is a lot of that had to do with this weird thing in Hollywood where it's like, well, we got to make the white people look good in the end. Do you know what I mean? Why the white guy's got to be on the right side? Do you know what I'm saying? Do you think some of that's at play here too?
Yes, but I think it's also uh Jerry's story because it's also from the beginning of the movie, it's basically Jerry's eulogy. So you've got to
Yeah,
make him out to be this great person that understood once he got to know black people that, hey man, racism is stupid. Like, why do we believe this anyway? And I can fully believe that Jerry did see things that way, but to set it up like all of these other people he was now butting heads with was his mother and everybody, and they were just all wrong. And then once he got into his car accident, everybody saw the error of their ways and realized Jerry was right. That's awful convenient.
well, I said I'm not going to do this. But the accident did happen, of course, and let's see, it's like Gary Bertier, I guess, Bertier. Um, Gary did pass away,
Hmm.
but the accident happened after the season was over. Did not happen before the last game. So to your point, Phil, good catch. It was absolutely a plot device that they used to show that the team had to come together and rally around their fallen teammate. So there you go. But he did, in fact, pass away 10 years later, as the film portrayed, and it was interestingly enough, because I don't think they said in the film when he died in '81. He was in a drunk driving accident, killed by a drunk driver.
Yeah, I think they said that in the movie, right?
Maybe they did. Maybe they did. Yeah. So that is Ryan Hurst, who played Gary, and Ryan had a big, I think, a long stint on Sons of Anarchy, and he
Yes.
was also in The Walking Dead. I never got into Sons of Anarchy. Did you?
No, I've never seen it.
No, I've never gotten into it, man. He was in The Walking Dead for a season as Beta, and I've been out of The Walking Dead for years. I did think he was great. He looks the part. He looks the part of the entitled jock who's, kind of backwoods and ignorant. I mean, dude, he looks the part. And I thought it was really good in this movie, in his role as this player, man. I mean, I thought it was really well done, actually. In fact, Phil, I think the cast itself working together and playing together, dude, it does start to feel like a real team after a few scenes of seeing these guys on the field together, man.
Yeah, I think the casting was great. I think
Mhm.
that the camaraderie that was built throughout the movie felt believable. But yeah, there were certain things like I was like, oh, that's it's quite a whopper to believe that he's just riding down the street with this big celebration of people on the sidewalk, and he's just listening to Fire and Rain in his car, and then all of a sudden he has this horrific accident.
In front of everybody. They're all watching it. Like, yeah. Well,
Yeah. Oh, I see fire and I see rain.
but I didn't see that truck coming.
Like, like, come
I can
on,
make
man.
fun of it because that's not how it happened. Everybody calm
Well,
down.
he didn't die, so it's all right. We're
That's
not
right.
making fun of death.
No, of course not. That's not how it happened anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, of course, this is Jerry's story. And I
Sure.
think that I can see people butting heads with that as well. That this is the story of integration and all these things. But when you really boil it down, it's not Coach Boone's story. It's really Jerry's story.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Again, I thought it was great. Man, let's see. We mentioned Donald Faison earlier as Petey. He's really good here, dude. Like I never got into Scrubs. I've heard great things about Scrubs through the years, say it's hilarious. Never got into it, but man, he's great in this movie, dude. I thoroughly enjoyed him in this.
Yeah, what an actor. He's been around in tons of things. Clueless, of course.
Hmm.
Like you said, Scrubs. He's been a ton of other things. Very charismatic. Very funny actor. Uh, you take one look at this guy, like just like that big smile he has, and just like he's great. Um, it's so much so that yeah, you get from Coach Yost's point of view, you want to take up for him, like, because Petey is just like he's happy to be here. He's excited to be on this team, and Boone is just giving him the hardest time. He is going super hard on him, and it's just like, wait a minute, he's a good kid. Why are you doing this to him?
I mean, I guess Boone, the character, had to make, I don't want to say made an example of him, but did he maybe had to make an example of him? Like, you're here for fun and games? Yeah, I don't do that. I don't do fun and games. This is real to me, right?
What I think with Petey's character from the very beginning, I think he looked at Boone like, oh, well, I'm black and you're black. You're just gonna give me away on this team. I'm gonna be running back. I'm gonna be a star on this team because you're the coach, right? You're gonna take it easy. You're gonna put me in this spot. And no, I think the whole point is you need to take this seriously. If you want to be a part of this football team, you can't be just here joking and laughing your way through everything.
Mm,
No, you need to take this seriously. You need to commit to this team.
mm,
And I think we see it with him and Coach Yost, where he tells him to do something, and he immediately is just like, "I'm not doing that," and ripped his helmet off. And it's just like, no, either you're here or you're not.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so I think, yeah, you're supposed to get this idea maybe that Boone is being too hard on him for most of the movie, but the more you see through this movie, he needed to be hard on him because it's like, man, you gotta really dig in and be a part of this if you want to be here.
That's like when Yost told him at the end, you can play for me next year, but you're sitting this out.
Yeah, because it felt like he kept thinking you could just do things, you can be wishy washy or jokey, and you'll be rewarded for it in the end. And I mean, I guess technically he was rewarded in the end because they
Sure.
needed him to play, but he still needed to understand that there's consequences for his actions, and you can't just show up and think, oh, because you showed up, you're going to be allowed a spot on this team.
Yeah.
Boink Studios YouTube is the home of Tom Clark's 6M podcast. Tom Clark's main event, Bear Mode, a podcast review of The Bear, and Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. Subscribe to the channel for archives that date back to 2014, with new content being uploaded every week. And check out boinkstudios.com for links to every podcast platform, social media, special announcements, and a lot more. Bookmark the site today.
Trying to center this kid, get him to understand this is real. And like they're all happy because the coach is African American, which I get it.
Mhm,
But again, I keep going back to this idea that Boone's like, I know y'all are thinking about the color stuff. I don't.
mhm.
Why are we talking about that? Like he never said that, of course, but when Yost kind of cracks on him and says, "How I've been here X number of years. You've been to three or four schools," and he goes, "Yep, won 3 and 4 championships too."
Yep.
I love that line, man.
Yeah, he tries to like basically make him out to be a screw up.
Sure.
But yeah, and I mean, I think it's such a great narrative point uh, to bring Petey in as this character that starts as a kid that thinks I'm going to get on this team because we got a black coach, and yeah, I'm going to make the team because of that. And then he ends up on the defense with the white coach.
Yes.
And then, of course, also the white coach has to then discipline him in the same way once he sees, like, yeah, he's a kid like anybody. And if he feels like he can get away with something with you, he's going to try it.
Right. Because he's a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally get it. Let's see who else we got here. We got Craig Kirkwood as Jerry Rev Harris. He's freaking great. Again, like I'll gush over this cast, how freaking great this cast is, man. They are fantastic.
Yeah. I think he's great as well. Again, we got to have all of our racial archetypes here as well. We've got to have the kid that's very much into religion. We've got to have the kid that is very much into his music
Yep.
and he's soulful. He likes to dance and sing. We got to have the very straightforward, blunt, militant character as well. We got to have like the jokey, wisecracker. All of them. We got to hit
Of
all of our
course.
archetypes.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And he's one of them.
Yep.
Yeah, Rev. And let's see, we can't leave out Julius. This is Wood Harris. I mean, yeah, dude, he is, again, great. And he is
Yeah.
one of the main cast members of this film, man.
Legend.
Again, like for me, Phil, like I have to believe this. Like at the time, none of us really knew how close it was unless you lived in that town or grew up with the
Hmm.
story. But like I have to believe that this is real. And like I'm telling you, man, when these guys are like facing off, they have this animosity between each other. Feels pretty real. Feels good to
Yeah.
me. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was really drawn into that.
Yeah, I think the friendship between Julius and Jerry is really one of the backbones of this movie. It's kind of the
Mhm.
heart and soul of this movie. And I think it works because you follow their journey from the beginning of them being roommates early on and them finding a way to get along and then actually becoming friends. Wood Harris is a legend, man. I mean, the amount of
Mhm.
movies he's been in, the amount of TV shows he's been in, of course, like Paid in Full, fantastic movie. He's the lead actor
Mhm.
in that. He was in the great HBO show about the Lakers winning times. He was great in that as well.
That's right.
Uh, a phenomenal actor. He was in the in the New Edition miniseries on BET. He was great in that. I've never seen Wood Harris in anything, and he was not fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of forgot about some of those credits, man.
He's so good in Winning Times. I think about him in Winning Times pretty often. That's one of those shows. I still can't believe it got canceled because it was so good.
God. I'm still been out of shape over that, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't understand that. Again, and by the way, kids, we've done Winning Time here on the 6M, so you should absolutely go check that out in the archives. Yeah, because he played Spencer Haywood, of course,
Yeah,
in Winning Time. He's fantastic, man.
yeah, such a good actor, man. Such a
Yeah,
versatile actor.
yeah, really, really good. Let's see, who else do we have here? Man, this is a big cast. We mentioned Gosling to begin with. This may have been the first thing that I ever saw the guy in. Maybe,
Hmm.
perhaps. I cannot say if it was absolutely if it was his actual first. Let's see here. So this came out in 2000. This was his first movie, technically. In 96, he was in a movie called Frankenstein and Me, but
Hmm.
this was only his second credit that he had. Now, he did have some TV credits, of course. He had been acting since 93, Mickey Mouse Club and all that crap. So
Crap.
I'm just saying, I didn't grow up with Mickey Mouse Club, Phil. I don't have fond memories of that like a lot of other people do, man. Did
Yeah.
you grow up watching that stuff?
Of course, I watched the Disney Channel and all this stuff growing up, but
Yeah.
I didn't like. I knew of the show. I remember when it came on. I remember a lot of the people that were in it that ended up becoming big, massive stars.
Hmm.
But yeah, I can't say that I watched it regularly.
When he's jamming out to that Carl Perkins song in this movie, I think I know that was in the trailer. It was one of those funny moments they put in the trailer. It was really good.
Yeah, feels like straight out of Mickey Mouse Club because one of the funny things, if you look up those old Mickey Mouse Club uh, clips, it's always like a bunch of like the whitest kids you ever know, like singing like these like soul songs or these black songs. It was like Kids Bop before Kids Bop existed, and
Oh
so
God.
thinking about him in the locker room and they're all singing, he's like, "Hey, this is fun." Like, yeah, Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh my God. It was so the Mickey Mouse Club. Jeez. That Kids Bop crap. I never understood. Man, if I was a kid and heard that, I don't know what I would think if I was the appropriate age that music was marketed to. But it was pretty effing terrible as an adult when
Those
you hear it.
commercials were everywhere at one point. It was
God,
on all the time. They had to make a lot of money on those things because
no kidding.
it was definitely marketed like they were making a lot of money.
No kid. Good Lord. Yeah, it was absolutely. You're right about that. It was absolutely everywhere. You couldn't get away from it. I tried. You could try. You could try to run and hide. You could try to run, but you can't hide. Yeah, crazy. Ethan Suplee is here as Louis Elastic. Again, he's great. If you're a Kevin Smith fan, then you've seen Ethan Suplee, of course. And if you like My Name Is Earl, he's great in that freaking show. Ethan
Yeah,
Supplee's a funny guy, man.
fantastic actor, of course.
Yeah,
Boy Meets World fame as well.
yeah.
He's in American History X, I believe, too.
That
A
is a
great
callback.
actor. But yeah, you see him now, he looks totally different. Dropped all of that weight.
He's
Seems like
ripped.
seems very happy and well adjusted. He's got family. I think got a bunch of kids. Yeah, and he ends up being one of my favorite characters in this movie. He's in some ways one of those archetypes as well of like the because I think for a lot of people growing up, the thing that kind of binded a lot of white kids with black kids in a certain area was being poor. And so
Yeah,
it wasn't so much like some people saw certain parts of the culture as like a black thing or even a black southern thing. It's just like, oh, well, we all live in the same neighborhood. I grew up around all these same people listening to the same music. And so we just automatically got along. And
yeah,
so that's what's so believable about his character. When he just goes over there and sits down, he's just like, hey, and people, and they're like, what are you doing over here? He's like,
yeah,
I don't care about none of that. I'm white trash. I'm here with you.
yeah. Well, and when he walks up, and I think it was in the gym, when he first walks up to him, he just walks up, and you're
Yeah.
like, "Wow!" Like, and to your point, he didn't care about any of that at all.
He just wanted to play football. He didn't show up in solidarity with the other white kids. He just showed up like, "Hey guys."
I mean, I think he and Boone are perhaps more similar than you first suspect because they're both. Neither one of them are there to make any sort of political statement. They just want to be there to play. That's it.
Yeah, and I think that's why you get this juxtaposition of he was the first kid that really started to build this relationship with Boone. He was the first white kid on the team that built this relationship with Boone.
Mm.
And on the other side, PD was the first black kid that built this relationship with Yost on the other side. And you just see the difference in their dynamics. And it's interesting.
It's true. We mentioned Bill Yost a lot. This is Will Patton. And kids, if you watch TV in the past 10 years or any kind of movie in the past 10 years, you've probably seen Will Patton.
Yes.
He's done a lot of stuff, man. Gone in 60 Seconds, The Client, The Punisher, the Thomas Jane version of The Punisher. He was in Armageddon, as we said. Yeah, he's been all over the place, man.
Yeah.
Really good actor, too.
Been in a ton of movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time. Kit Purdue is Ronnie Sunshine Bass. I don't think it would surprise anyone here to know that this guy spent some time as a model for Abercrombie and Fitch, because of course he did,
Of course.
because he was just too darn pretty. When he pulls that deal on the field and he tells him, he says, let him through, and the guy comes at him and he just does like a freaking backdrop on him.
Mhm.
On the field, and he's standing there, dude. When he looks at him, and all the guys are like, what do they say? Like it's a crazy white boy or something. Man, he was fantastic because you see that look on his face. Man, this guy's a killer. Who knew he was a killer, Phil? We just thought he was a pretty boy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought you got that impression from him right away when his dad brought him up, and he was kind of quiet and stoic, and he had this way about him. But his dad was in the military,
Yeah.
and so when you get that idea of that time period and the way his dad would have raised him, his dad probably was very hard on him. So it was just like he probably was like this like pretty well-to-do kid that grew up in a nice house, but I'm sure his dad toughened him up. Like, you're not about to be, because people are going to try you.
I love when they pulled up, he tells Coach Boone, he says, so and so's, because he's like, we don't have a spot, but I'm sure you can take him over to one of these schools. Like, well, I talked to so and so, and they don't allow black kids in their school, and he's like, if these kids are good enough to get killed, if they get killed in war, they're good enough to play ball together.
Yeah. The only thing that was missing when Sunshine took the field for the first time, and they were like, "Man, that's a bad white boy." I thought that bass line was going to kick in. Don't, 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 don't. A few years early, I think that song was probably like mid '70s, late '70s, so probably too early for that song. It wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't have worked. Man, talk about on the nose. That would have been way on the nose, wouldn't it? There's already a lot of the archetype stuff that you've been talking about here already.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, again, I love this movie. I love the cast. I think everybody's great, but I got to be straight, man. A lot of this, to me, the convenience factor is it doesn't ruin it for me, but there are moments when I'm like, yeah, you're laying it on a little thick in times. You know what I mean? And that's coming from a white guy's perspective. It feels too thick at times.
Yeah, I think because it's a family movie, and I think it's because we're looking at it now,
Yeah,
having seen this movie multiple times, and then also we're both older now. But I mean, when you see it as a kid, you just see it as what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to help you normalize this idea that, it doesn't matter how different we are. Like, we all can find common ground in something.
yeah. I mean, we thought we could.
I mean, that's how people should think. And I
Sure.
mean, I think that that's what this movie is supposed to really show you, that racism is stupid when you really boil it down to what it is. I hate you no matter what I know about you just because of what you look like.
Yeah.
And there's no real rational way to argue with that because it's an irrational feeling. Like, it's just stupid on every level. So I love this idea of the movie that these are kids and they're looking around like, well, wait a minute. Why do I hate him?
Right. Yeah. That's the problem. Yeah.
You can't just explain that to somebody. Like, well, why do you hate him? Just because he's black or just because he's white?
Well, that's the thing, Phil, is that when you really keep digging, if you can get someone to have a conversation, a real conversation, that's always the toughest part of this. But
Of
once you
course.
dig below the surface, after what, 15, 20 minutes, and you just keep, but why? Just keep saying, but why? They're going to eventually run out of answers. There's going to be nothing
Yeah.
left.
Yeah, and I think that's why Boone's approach is so important. He doesn't come in and lecture them. He doesn't
Mm,
come in and say, "Hey, you got to get along with this guy. I don't care what he looks like. Like you guys are not that different, and eventually you'll see it." If he went in there and lectured them, it would have went in one ear and out the other. They wouldn't have really listened to him.
yeah, they don't care
They
about
had
that.
to they had to experience it themselves and be around each other long enough to go like, wait a minute, like this guy likes music, I like music. This guy's on a football team. We're both here for a shared goal of being on a football team and trying to win a championship. Why am I mad at you again? Just because you don't belong in our school? Well, why? And so it's just like the longer you think about it, it's just like, well, wait, I'm making it harder for myself by trying to hold on to this hate for this person.
Right. Yeah, it's I shouldn't laugh. It's not, none of it's funny, but like it is. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna get mad because it's can't. You know, it's a weird thing to remember in the moment, Phil. But it's like that Star Trek episode where he's half white on this side and half black on the other, and his right. I don't like him because it's on the wrong side. I'm like, if we're like, well, that's dumb. Well, the whole thing's dumb, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, it's like Futurama and the aliens from the one episode and Zach Brannigan hates them because they're neutral.
yeah, yeah, right, right. Oh man, again, you're gonna hate. Listen, if you're gonna hate a man because he wronged you.
Yeah.
Hate a man because he stole your girl, or he hurt somebody you love, or he did something to you. That's why you hate a man. And I don't like to hate anybody, but if you're gonna hate somebody, hate him for that. But
Yeah.
you're right, like, but the whole bit of, well, I don't like you because of the way you look. I hate you for that. Okay,
Yeah.
dude. Not much I can do about it, but okay. Right.
Yeah, listen, I'm still going to be black tomorrow. You're still going to be white tomorrow. So,
Right.
what are we going to do
Yeah.
about this?
Yeah. I mean, well, we said this, you and I talked a lot about this in the past. I mean, I don't know. I mean, movies just like to tie things up and send you home feeling happy, which this movie absolutely does. And again,
Yes.
I'm okay with that. But I don't know, man. I don't know if it's possible that we ever reach the point of, we're putting all that aside. Like I think the Star Trek, if the possible future of Star Trek sounds great and made compelling television, but I don't know, man. I mean, I'm hopeful, but I don't know if we'll ever get there.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that's the great thing about movies like this and trying to reach families, trying to get families to have tough conversations
Mm.
and trying to reach kids early on because even if you're an adult and you're looking at this movie like, oh, this is very convenient, and your kid's sitting there like, I love this movie, and you have conversations with them about the movie, it kind of forces you to have those conversations and instill things in them that maybe they wouldn't have completely learned from the movie, but um, it's just it's a way to open up the dialogue at least.
That's a good way to put it. At least get us talking. If nothing
Yeah.
else, let's talk. Yeah. Let's see. We've got Hayden Panettiere as Cheryl Yost. This is years before Save the Cheerleaders, Save the World.
Yeah, this was her breakout role. This was the thing that really put her on the map.
Yeah.
Went on to Heroes fame and some other things. She's great here. I mean, she really stole the show in a lot of the scenes she was in.
She is. Yeah. And I'm telling you, man, I still submit that first season of Heroes is some of the best TV I've ever watched.
Such a great show. Shame what that writer strike did to the second season.
Oh, terrible. Gutted it. Gutted it. And then season 3 was an abomination.
Yeah.
Um, just terrible. Siler is the hero. I'm sorry, what? He's
Yeah.
what now? Like,
All of a sudden, he's a Bocelli now too, and everybody's a Bocelli, and it's like, all right,
right. Yeah. I forgot about that.
it's all connected. Everything is connected.
Everything was connected. But Hero, I mean, it was worth it to see her and Hero. That's why that show was worth it.
Yeah.
So good. Until it wasn't good. Another female actress in this movie is Kate Bosworth, in only her second film, and she was the girlfriend who done saw the light by the end. So,
I saw the light.
yeah,
I saw the light.
yeah. Don't start singing hymns. I can still do that stuff. It stayed
very,
with me. It
very,
did, man.
very Southern church when I think of that. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, the Emma character of her just being like dead set. I don't want to meet this Julius guy. I don't want to know him. I don't want to be around any of these black people. If you're gonna hang out with black people, I'll just be over there. Like, okay,
right. It ain't funny. It's just the way you said it.
but that's essentially her character of just like,
Yeah,
I love you. You mean a lot to me, but these black people you want to be around, call me when you're done with that.
yeah, yeah. When you're over this, come on back.
Yeah, she's like treating him like he's going through a phase or something. It's wild.
Yeah, this won't last long. Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's very convenient, and I believe I
Yeah,
don't think she was real either. Um, Either she
yeah.
wasn't real or the stuff didn't happen. I think it's either or.
Yeah, and you set up this guilt trip for her to go on because she promises him she's going to be at the last game, and she never got to see that game because he got into the car accident. And you're
Yeah.
supposed to believe that all of this is to show this teenage girl that life is too short to hate somebody just because they're black. And she runs out on the field during the game to shake Julius's hand because she didn't shake his hand earlier in the movie, which is a nice, like, redeemable moment to like wrap that story arc in a bow. But boy, is it unbelievable when you really think about it.
It is highly unbelievable because the coach is like, "I'm sorry, you can't be out here." Like,
Yeah,
like, why are you out here?
yeah,
Uh, we haven't mentioned Gregory Allen Williams as Coach Doc. This is Paul Doc Hines.
yeah. He's kind of there to throw in like side pieces of commentary of what's happening in the movie. Like, we got ourselves a football player.
He's also there to side eye the coach, but he supports him through the whole thing. He never second guesses him, I don't think.
Yeah, he's like Coach Boone's like comedic sidekick almost.
He is. Yeah. Let's see here. We got Coach Ed Henry. This is Tom Nowicki as Coach Ed Henry. Jim Grimshaw as Coach Tabor. David Dwyer as Coach Tolbert. A lot of coaches here.
Yeah, a lot of coaches. You're supposed to feel like this is Coach Boone against like the world. All of these coaches he's going up against, like,
Hmm.
yeah, they hate him because they want to beat him. Like, but also like they also hate him. Like the coach that is like they're interviewing him, he calls him a monkey for some reason, and I was like, what?
Jesus.
Again, we get the very on the nose scene of Coach Boone throwing a banana at him.
Don't get upset when I tell you that didn't happen either.
I mean, I could believe why. I mean, after this scene of him trying to graciously shake his hand, then when he sees that he won't do it, hey, by the way, here's a banana for you. Like,
I mean, I really wanted to believe that was real, but it, alas, did not happen. Coach Herb Tyrell, that was Brett Rice. I don't know. Are the townsfolk a little too? I mean, the N word never got said, which is good. I mean, we didn't need it. Of course, it's a Disney film as well, but they do say some other things that kind of suck. I guess they were just trying to paint a picture, leading you to kind of feel about the time and what's going on and everything. But at any given time, are the townsfolk? Is it too much? Is it too? I think we've used the term on the nose a bunch
I I I,
today.
I think they pushed the margin as far as they could.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There was, of course, because it's a Disney movie, and you are trying to open the dialogue, but you also don't want to put certain things into kids' heads as well.
Hmm.
You don't want to put a slur in this movie, and then yeah, your kid will ask questions, but then also you don't want to teach a kid a slur.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some things in there like Sambo, of course, and like monkey, and those things are bad. But you don't want to ultimately teach them like the worst slur you can call a black person.
Yeah. Jeez. Just to circle back, the Ronnie Bass character, of course, is based on a real person,
Hmm.
of course, who did play at T.C. Williams High School, and he went on to the University of South Carolina. And this guy now is 69 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, he's still with us, which is cool. But and also, I don't think I mentioned Kit Purdue played football himself. So he brought some of that to the table. I guess some of that experience he kind of brought with him. Yeah, again, and I think we've driven home this point pretty well. I think in terms of it's got moments of I don't like you and I don't like you, but let's shake on it and let's work together. And hey, now we love each other.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get it. Tom Clark's 6M podcast is sponsored in part by Radius Law Group. Every day, Radius helps individuals, families, small businesses, and nonprofit organizations throughout North Carolina, Florida, and Pennsylvania resolve their legal issues by providing effective legal counsel in the areas of estate planning, as well as elder law and Medicaid. Radius Law holds the radical belief that working with a lawyer can indeed be enjoyable. So give them a call at 1-800-519-5667 for more information and tell them that Tom Clark's 6M podcast sent you. Phil, let me ask you a question. Hollywood's never going to stop with this, and we don't expect them to, right? Because like Hollywood likes, it's all about telling the story, and
Yes.
right, like creators want to tell their stories, whether it's from a black perspective or a white perspective. These stories will never stop. But have we made, man? If you can answer this, you're doing well, because I don't know if I can answer this totally. Have we made progress through the years? Like, I don't want to say thanks to Hollywood, but in terms of like movies, books, music, I mean, have we made progress at all? Are we still as bad as we were? I mean, I don't know how to answer that, man. Can you even
Well,
answer that conclusively?
well, in what way? In the movies that are being made and the lessons that are learned from some of these movies?
Sure. And you can't answer for everybody, so maybe it's unanswerable.
I know that at a certain time period, a lot of people came away from American History X with a changed view on a lot of things
Mhm.
because it's such a drastic story of someone going from being, a racist and a white supremacist to completely changing their viewpoint and changing their viewpoint. Um, and it eventually is too late. Spoiler for the movie. But yeah, it really drives home how much of a waste of time racism can be
Mhm.
because it ultimately ruined this person's life. Even when they um, saw the error of their ways, it still was just too late. There were too many consequences that came from his choices he was making as a racist. Um, and I think that's a very jarring story for some people. And there are other movies like that I've seen and experienced. I've seen the reception to those movies change some people's thought processes on race, and it's forced them to have some tough conversations.
Mhm.
Um, but I think sometimes with experience, if you're open, you're always going to be open to the message of something, even if you may have some stereotypes that you believe in, and even if you have some flawed ways of looking at things, if you're open, a movie or something will be the thing that can like shift your viewpoint on things. But
Mhm.
if you are just flat out racist and you don't want to actually listen to reason, most things are not going to change that. Because I do feel like, for the most part, you just can't reason with hate.
I
Like
agree with that. Yeah.
people have to unlearn hate, and a lot of times that's a very personal experience. And I just don't think a lot of times you can debate somebody and dissuade them from being hateful.
Hate is learned. That's a good way to put it. Hate is very much learned. You're not born with it.
Yeah, it's very much learned, and so on that same token, you have to unlearn it. And like I said, I think that's what makes American History X, for example, such a believable story because you have to go through the very drastic process of unlearning these things.
Mhm.
And this is a story of a guy that was taught these things by their father, and it was like when you really go through life and think about it, it's like, hey, this guy filled his kid's mind with all of these things before he was old enough to understand that it's nonsense.
Yeah, right, right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think that that's why, again, movies like this and conversations with kids while they're young are so important. Because once you get older and you are stuck in your ways and you've believed something for so long, it's harder to unlearn these things.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, but I've had conversations with people that have seen movies. Now, of course, sometimes it could be a bit patronizing. Like
right, of course.
I've seen this movie and I came away like, of course, like the joke from Undercover Brother of Doogie Howser's character of like, I saw Roots and it completely changed the way that I thought about everything. We have to do better as people. I've had those kind of conversations with people, like they
Oh,
saw
wow.
some movie or TV show, and again, I don't think that they mean I don't think they mean any harm when they do that.
Sure.
But it is kind of like, well, wait a minute. Why did you have to see this movie or this TV show to see that the world is a horrible place when a lot of this stuff is around us every day? Um, and I mean, again, some of it is people just don't know the history. Some people don't know things. Like, I mean, think of something like 12 Years Slave. Like, how many people like actually knew the story of Solomon Northup before that movie?
Right, right, right. Yeah.
I mean, I've read a lot about like slavery and like the civil rights movement and a lot of things, and I had never heard of Solomon Northup. And you talk about a movie that I will never watch again. It completely traumatized me. I don't ever need to see 12 Years Slave again.
Man.
It's probably the only movie that I've gone to and I sat through the entire movie and I sat there and cried in the theater and I was like, never again. I would never watch this again.
And it's like anything else, like no matter what they show us, it'll never match the intensity of what actually
Yeah.
happened.
I will say this about that movie, and part of why I sat there and cried is it was very uncompromising in its view of racism. There's still bits of like the white savior character arc in it, but the
Mm.
fact that by the end of this movie, spoiler alert, Solomon ends up disappearing again, even though he gets back out of slavery. He disappeared, and nobody knew what happened to him.
Phew, man.
Even after all of that, even after he survived all of that as a free man going back into slavery, he still got back to his normal life. And still, even at the end of his life, something happened to him and it's not explained. There's theories that he ended up enslaved again or he ended up killed. They, they don't know.
Wow. I mean, it's hard to I was gonna say it's hard to wrap your head around, but I mean, it is for me. I mean, I just
It's it's crazy to think about that someone could just disappear
yeah.
and there's no consequences, there's no justice for them. But then when you also think about the world we live in now, and somebody could just be murdered walking home
Mhm.
and nothing's done about it.
I mean, how many people through the years we've never found? We've never found them.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that that's more of a I think that that's more of a regular occurrence than people realize. Uh, Not just with black people, especially with like black transgender individuals.
Mm.
The amount of them that um, there are stories of them just like unaliving themselves or like they just disappear or something. They are just like the victim of like some hate crime or something. It happens quite often.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to get into like very depressing stuff, but there's like whole articles and stuff you can read about people that just disappear, like kids that just disappear. It's crazy.
Yeah, no trace anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another reason why we have Hollywood, right? Is to we can see characters who go and, you know, fight injustice. That's why comic books, I think, are still doing what they're doing. I just because those things tap into that that desire that we need justice, right? Like that's what a lot of it really comes down to.
Yeah, and I think there's something to the fact that Hollywood a lot of times uh, adds like depth to this to these things. So it's not just like a faceless person.
Yeah.
Like when you think about like Fruitvale Station and like when you see like Oscar Grant's story in there, it is not just like this was just some faceless like black kid that died in Oakland.
Right.
Like you actually, even regardless of if everything that happens in that movie is factual or not, you gave him a whole backstory to get up to that point, and it changes it. It changes the
Right.
way you see him.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Well, I mean, Hollywood serves a purpose. We started this today by saying, don't look to Hollywood to save you. Don't look to them to fix anything because they really can't. I'm sure we've all had our fill of certain actors who get so self righteous and they're so disconnected from reality that it's easy for them to sit back and say things. And you're like, you're not struggling like I am. You don't know me.
Yeah.
But that's also Phil, not to say let's discount them. They are here with us. It's not like they live on another planet. We think they do. It sure seems like they do.
Hmm.
But, they care as much about what's going on right now as we do. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I think the other interesting thing about Remember the Titans and how much a lot of people love this movie is it revolves around a thing that a lot of Americans can connect with. A lot of Americans like sports. A lot of Americans like football.
mm,
And so the thing that changed a lot of people's minds about race is, hey, wait a minute. You're good at this sport. I like this guy. Because a lot of people, there might be some people that have racist views on the world, but when they look at certain things like sports, they don't see that when they look at like their favorite basketball player, their favorite actor. Even if they may have some prejudiced views, they don't see that person in that way.
not at all. No. I mean, Ray Charles comes to mind that, people respected him and respected other.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
people respected his talent,
sure.
and I think that you saw that a lot in sports, and a lot in music. I do think there's a deep irony to the fact that Sunshine is technically the best player on this team. We understand that by the end of this movie, that he's basically the best player on the team. I mean, by the championship, he's playing both sides of the ball. He's that good. Uh, uh, but the fact that he ends up showing up as just the best player on his team, and he wasn't on either side of this thing. He didn't show up with the white kids uh, on your side. He didn't show up like Lewis did to just be on Coach Boone's side. He's a completely neutral party in this because he came after the fact, and his father already was on board with integration.
Yeah. Convenient again,
Maybe, but it is pretty funny. It's ironic.
it is. I mean, at the God, man, again, I tell you, like in the end, by the end of this film, white people are feeling pretty good about themselves. Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
And, we all know that's not. Dude, I was getting ready to say this is not real life. Phil, you and I have talked about comic book movies a lot in the past few years. Of course, this isn't real life. Like I'm sitting here wanting real life, but that falls on its face, Phil, when you remind yourself none of this is real. I mean, based on real facts, sure, okay, fine. But again,
Mhm.
this is a Hollywood production, Phil. Why am I
Of
still
course.
grasping for some of this to be real?
I never thought about it until like the last few times I've watched this, but um, Jerry being in his hospital bed and he immediately was like, "Oh, so I've been reading. They've got Olympics for people in wheelchairs." And it's like, okay.
At that point, you're like, I'm gonna go get some. I'm gonna make a sandwich. I think I'm
Okay.
done.
It's like they had to put that in there to allude to where he would end up. And I
Sure.
get it, but it was just like you didn't really need to do that.
They're like, we got to wrap this up. It's like the guy by the camera doing that wind up motion with his finger, right? It's like, got to wind this up. We got to go. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. Seeds are being planted.
Yeah, right. Jesus.
But again, it's Jerry's story, so you're setting up like the fact that he had this forethought all the way then to be like, maybe I'm not done with sports after all.
And I have this. I have this epiphany as I'm lying here paralyzed, and I just found out 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I have the wherewithal and the mental toughness in this moment to understand. Nah, maybe my athletic career isn't over just yet.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
A little bit. A little bit. Yeah. Well, again, putting the bow on it, right? Putting the bow on it, driving it home with it's got all the subtlety of a locomotive plowing through your living room,
Yeah.
right?
And I think it's also that this movie is, like you said, 25 years old at this point.
Yeah.
It's been around for so many years, and when you think of like the score to it, and how many times have you just been watching something and they use the score and things? They use the score and stuff all the time,
Yeah, it's true.
and so it kind of feels cliche in a lot of ways. So a part of the stuff that I'm saying is now having watched this movie multiple times over 20 years.
Mhm. Well, kids, you probably didn't anticipate us going this far down the rabbit hole with stuff that's correct and stuff that ain't correct, and it's a little bit too convenient. But we sure did it. So you're welcome, everybody out there. We're not trying to crap on the movie, kids. I promise you. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, great. I think it's a great movie. I still really enjoyed this cast. I thought that there were great performances here. I think it's a great story. I think that has good intentions. I think it has a
Yeah,
great soundtrack.
it does.
So there's a lot to like about this movie. I just think that the older you get, the more jaded. The more you look at it, like, well, wait a minute, uh, it's a little bit convenient.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that too much. Yeah. We didn't even talk about the soundtrack, but hardly at all. There's some great stuff on the soundtrack, man.
Yes,
Man. Marvin
uh,
Gaye. I think the movie started out with Marvin Gaye, didn't it?
I think so. But yeah,
Yeah.
great soundtrack. 70s gave us some great music. I almost said, "What a time to be alive." Yeah. Depends, I guess.
It does depend.
But great music from that time period, always.
Yeah. I mean, they just don't do it like that anymore. God, that makes me sound old too. But they just don't make it like that anymore. I don't know. Back when it was about creating a hit, now it's just about making noise. I don't know. Man, I sound like an old dude right now, man. I don't know. Yeah, well, a lot of this music I did hear growing up. I'm sure a lot of us did. And so, but that's not the only reason why it's important, is because it's just so good.
Hmm.
just, just classic stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was important to capture the sound of that time period,
Yeah.
especially when we're talking about like kids and what kids would have been listening to at that time. Like,
Ooh,
what
that's
was
fair. Yeah.
yeah? So I think that works.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
But also Disney movie, so it's certain 70s movie music that you won't hear, but we got to make sure it's like all safe music that would fit this time period.
Yeah, can't be any protest songs in here. Can't be any songs that make you feel uncomfortable. And sports movies, unlike any other genre, Phil, they can handle these kinds of themes because it's happened in real life. And even if you write a fictional story, you can incorporate those themes because, as you said earlier, a lot of it works because it's the idea of we're all here for a reason. We're all here
Yeah.
for a purpose. And I guess that's why it works in war movies as well, right? Like we're all here for one mission, one purpose. We have to find a way to get along. And in the end, I'll end up saving your life, even though I hate you for whatever reason I hate you, or I'll help you score the touchdown or whatever. Maybe it's just, is it a guy thing too? Like that machismo, tough guy thing at play here as well, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's also part of this is very coming of age, uh,
Hmm.
masculine movie in a lot of ways as well.
Yeah. You talk about macho guy. This thing about alpha male, which by the way,
Mhm.
if I got to hear that anymore, I'm liable to just, find something really tall and step off of it. Dude, I'm the farthest thing from an from an alpha male that I've ever met. I don't understand why we had to use labels. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, just let somebody be who they are. I just don't get that. Like, well, you got to be an alpha male. Really? Do you do? Because man, I've seen what their definition of alpha male is, and I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Uh,
So.
Yeah, but I think again, this irony with Sunshine, in some ways having the appearance of the least masculine man, but also like he's the best player. He's also like tough as a nail,
Mm,
very good looking. Uh, is does not care what people think of his sexuality. Apparently, um,
right.
he is like this pinnacle of manhood. As this guy that is like when you look at him, you would not think that. You would think that he's kind of like dainty.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. The kissing that did for some reason I had not remembered that man for the year 2000 in a movie about 1971, which by the way that kiss thing never happened. I hate to keep doing that to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, uh, homophobia, of course, probably was a thing in the '70s as
Oh,
well.
sure. Yeah.
But the fact that it was just thrown in the way that it is was an interesting choice.
It was because I did not see that coming. I'm sure nobody saw that coming because at the time it was like, it's not that I don't like that, but like, why would you just throw that in? You know what I mean? I don't really understand that, but buddy, they sure threw it in. But ended up being great because everything. Well, they won, so everything's fine now. Phil, remember, it's all fine now because they won, so we're good.
Yeah, winning changes everything,
Well, yeah,
which
yeah.
is true. It does, but you know.
Yeah, so we're all good. Everything's fine. Well, kids, there you go. There's Remember the Titans. We fixed racism in an hour and a half. So everybody's welcome. Two dudes on one podcast. We got it all done for you, along with Mr. Washington. He helped out quite a bit. But we're glad we took care of that. Next week, World Hunger. We'll get that done. Mark it off the list
Yeah,
of
man.
things.
Listen. I'm glad that two guys of different race can come together and bring you this podcast. Maybe someday they'll be making a movie called Remember the 6M.
Oh, that made my day. That's wonderful. It'll be it'll be as on the nose as this movie is. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who's playing you in the movie. Who's playing you? If you could make the choice, who's playing you?
Well, I just hope that they don't put them in a terrible dread wig. That sounds. I don't know. They do that with Hollywood. They go, we got to go realistic, and this guy had dread, so let's get a dread wig on this guy. And the dread wigs have gotten better,
Mhm.
but I don't know. I don't have any real hope to see that. trying to think off the top of my head who could.
I mean, look, there's dread waves, and your dreads are very impressive, and they're great. There's like you and the Predator. You guys have like the best dreads.
Um, I'm gonna go with Tyler James Williams. I think he could pull it off.
Oh, there you go.
I think he could pull off a lot of my quirkiness. I think he could pull it off. I'm sure some people were like, "Hey, you picked a very good looking guy to play you," but yeah, listen.
I'll go Paul Rudd because Paul Rudd still looks like he's 30 and he's like 60 now, I think. And he's funny. He's got a great smile. People love Paul Rudd. So if he played me, everybody should love the movie. And by osmosis, they'll love me as well. So it's all I got. That's the best answer I got. I mean, honestly, it probably shouldn't be Paul Rudd, but yeah, he's great. By the way, what was it I did recently where he did the voice of somebody? So, it was on an episode of The Bear. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. By the way, kids, Bear Mode, a podcast review of The Bear is available on Boink Studios. Well, we're going to go before I start plugging all the other stuff because we'll be here all day. It's lots to plug. So, Phil, before we wrap this up and start making phone calls to our agents about our biopic, let's get your last word on Remember the Titans.
Yeah, as I said, still a very enjoyable movie. I think it's a good family movie. If you stretch it a bit, like there are some easy criticisms to be had here, but I think for the most part, it still holds up really well. Uh, I still enjoyed it watching it for this. I would be remiss. I just thought about this right now, but rest in peace to the legend, Robert Redford. Uh,
That's right.
Legendary actor, has been a part of tons of things. I'm sure you've watched, and your parents have watched, if not you.
Oh, sure.
Uh, yeah, what a legend.
Yeah, as we do these shows in real time, kids, it's or as we record them, things are happening in the world around us. To me, he'll always be the Sundance Kid. That's kind of how I first came to know the guy. We're going to have to do that movie at some point. Are you a fan of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, by the way?
I was never a big Western guy.
I'm not a huge Western guy, but I appreciate a good Western. And well, I take that back. I'm a Western guy in as much as I love Jimmy Stewart. And if it's a Jimmy Stewart Western, I'm watching it. I can watch some John Wayne stuff too, but a lot of it for me is the actor that's in it. But Butch and Sundance is a great movie. I mean, him and Newman are just fantastic. So great combo. But I echo what Phil said. Rest in peace to Robert Redford, who was also part of the MCU.
Yeah. If nothing else, he's also the nodding meme that's on Twitter
That's
a lot
right.
of times of the screen of the camera zooming in on him nodding.
Jeremiah Johnson, unrecognizable as well.
Hmm.
Like
I,
you
for a
can't
long
even
time, did not know that was Robert Redford.
same. I'd seen the DVD cover or the VHS cover to Jeremiah Johnson. I don't think I've ever even seen the movie. So that tells you something. Well, kids, go look the movie up now that you've listened to this show. So we appreciate it very much. Thanks as always for checking us out, for following along. Means loads to me. And thanks for checking us out. And stay tuned for a whole lot more stuff coming your way. Some brand new shows coming to the Boink Studios YouTube. So please give us a follow if you will. Nothing's behind a paywall, so go enjoy that. And we'll be back real soon. But until then, that is Remember the Titans. Hey, thanks for listening to the show. Check out our social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at 6M Podcasts. We'll see you next time.